Sanders thing. So, let me tell you something. It's never a bad message to tell your kids, be humble. Humility works in the summer. It works in the fall. Humility works in the spring. Humility works in the winter. Don't gas your kids up too much. It didn't really bother me when they retired Shedeur Sanders' number, but he is a 500 quarterback who couldn't get drafted in the first round. It's a little much. Everything is something. Nothing is everything. Shedeur Sanders didn't get drafted. There's multiple reports. A little cocky. Whatevs. But I'm watching his draft room, and the word legendary is all over the draft room. I'm like, can we just pull the temperature down a little? It's not the end of the world. If he had Caleb Williams' talent, nobody would, I guess, care. But the whole thing is like, bro, you wore New York Giant cleats. Remember when he wore the New York Giant cleats? Like, can we just... Humility's not... I know in society, everybody loves the TikTok watch thing. You know who doesn't apparently love it? NFL executives. You're drafting employees. That's all these teams are doing. They're drafting employees. Did you notice the 2 players in the first round that moved up about 10 spots? What a shock. 2 A+++ character guys. The receiver from Ohio State. We talked about this all week. A+++ character, humble, hardworking. Everybody that I have as a source loved that kid. Not just the player, they loved that kid. Shocking. He went from middle of the second round to middle of the first over the last month and a half. What a shock. Great player, but checks all the boxes. You know the other kid that moved up about half a round was Tyler Booker, the guard the Dallas Cowboys got. Team captain. Unbelievable passion. How do you not love that kid? I mean, how do you not want that kid on your team? I'm never going to criticize any player who cares that much about being drafted. I want to buy that guy's jersey. I wish he wasn't a guard. It would be, but who are the guys that moved up in the draft? Team captains. There was Joel Klatt talking about a story yesterday about Igbuka. He could have gone to the NFL last year. He would have been a 4th-round pick, but he could have gone, but he wanted to stay. He wanted to be part of the great Ohio State receiver lineage. He wanted to help the new kid from Alabama, Jeremiah Smith, the great receiver they have, like work his way into the Buckeyes. Like, that stuff matters. You are drafting employees. Can we just go back in society where hard work matters and humility's not uncool?
Yeah, I agree. But I'm curious, Colin, where this take was in the leading into the draft. Because I was really one of the only few people that was really pushing back on kind of the Shedeur Sanders train. And in an actual, like, measured way. Because we kept talking about Shedeur Sanders nonstop. And I kept saying to myself, like, this is so much more because of Shedeur's popularity. And you could even see when you go to ESPN, it was like the story was more about Shedeur not being drafted rather than anything else. More than Cam Ward, more than Travis Hunter. It was like Shedeur not drafted, like as big as it can be on ESPN. And then the first main story was Shedeur Sanders, slides out of first round. And then any of the times that we tried to have real conversations about any of the issues of Shedeur, it was like, then it got weird, right? Nick Wright bringing in weird stuff about, physical appearance. I was like, this is insane. This is absurd. That's not what it is. And then you have 32 teams pass on him. When everyone else tried to be like, this guy's going to be drafted, this guy's going to be drafted. And I was like, I don't think he will. I don't think he should. And he didn't. And it was nice to know that I was more aligned with the 32 teams. And we can't say that it's because of bad reasons. Is Mike Tomlin a bad person? Like, no, I don't think so. And he had a chance and he passed. He was like, no, I'm good on that. And so like this whole conversation got so twisted in so many different directions. And now Colin's talking about essentially his personality. But before that was such a hot topic to talk about. Because you heard, that he's like too cocky in the meetings and that the interviews didn't go well and people didn't like that. And people were kind of like, how dare you say that? How dare you say that about Shedeur Sanders? What's wrong with him being confident? Baker Mayfield was confident, and it just became this like whole just ridiculousness. And then this is it. I mean, this was his draft room where he was. Legendary written he had this whole custom room. Dollar signs everywhere, legendary written everywhere. I mean, it's bizarre. And this was the number 1 overall pick. Just very humble, nice little jacket, wearing the hat, regular chain, no theatrics, no nothing over the top. And he was the number 1 overall pick. And the guy who did all the other stuff wasn't even drafted in the first round. That stuff matters. That stuff matters when you're drafting a quarterback. We had a whole conversation about on this live feed about what it takes to be a leader, the personality you need to be a leader. I mean, it's a real thing. It's a real thing. And when you're not good enough from a talent perspective, you're going to get less benefit of the doubt. Shedeur Sanders was always more celebrity than anything else. And we talked about him more than Cam Ward and Jackson Dart, the 2 quarterbacks that were drafted in the first round. I mean, think about it. And this is what the entire NFL picked. It's like the NFL picked it. Like the NFL, they're the ones that drafted. Like, so it's like, that's what they were saying. And if they truly believed that Shedeur Sanders was special, the Pittsburgh Steelers had an opportunity to draft him and they didn't. Maybe the Cleveland Browns do the second round. But like, the Saints didn't. Like other teams did. The Giants traded up and went out and got Jackson Dart. And so don't make this about something that it's not. And don't make it be like we're not allowed to talk about character and personality. Because we are. We are. That's totally fair game. Totally fair game. And it's not just a cultural thing. It's not a personality thing. It's not an appearance thing. It's a human being thing. And Cam Ward proves that right there. Cam Ward proves that right there. I mean, the Sanders, they had the celebrities in there. Again, like just like a graffiti room, dollar signs, massive chains. Everything's just so over the top. Teams do not want superstar celebrities. Patrick Mahomes, the most successful quarterback today, right now, playing in the NFL. And like, do you see him acting like Shedeur Sanders? Lamar Jackson, MVPs, records, absolutely balling. All he does need to win a Super Bowl or 2, and he's in the GOAT conversation. Do you see him acting like Shedeur Sanders? Josh Allen, go to his Wikipedia page and just see the endless records that dude has. Jalen Hurts, Super Bowl MVP. Do you see him acting like that? Like, these are guys that are actually performing in the NFL, who have broken records in the NFL, who won Super Bowls, MVPs. Like, it just, are they acting like that? And now you have a college kid who's acting greater than those players. And you think that coaches and teams and owners and, that like you're not supposed to kind of be like, I don't know how I feel about this. It's one thing if he won a national championship. It's one thing if he won a Heisman. It's one thing if he was this freak athlete and he was as fast as Lamar Jackson and he could throw like Joe Burrow. Then we could be like, all right. And he was still moving down. Then we could say, this feels weird. But the only reason why he was talked up so much was because of his popularity. I mean, and that's a fact. That's a reality. Because now we're all trying to pretend like him sliding out of the first round is like the biggest thing to ever happen in the history of the universe. And it's like, dude, the NFL is littered with quarterback. Jalen Hurts was drafted in the second round. He's Super Bowl MVP. Balled out in multiple Super Bowls against Kansas City Chiefs. Russell Wilson, Dak Prescott, Kirk Cousins. I don't even want to say Tom Brady because that's Tom Brady, but we'll just say Tom Brady. Brock Purdy, obviously, most recently. Like, this happens all the time. And there's also endless times that quarterbacks go in the first round We don't even remember their names. So, but again, because it's Shedeur, because of the popularity, it's just like sound the alarm, panic. Everyone's got to go nuts and crazy over it. And I get it from even just a fan on the outside looking in. Like, I did the live stream and we were all kind of like, where's Shedeur gonna go? Like, that was the interesting thing. We were like, are the Saints gonna get him, or maybe the Raiders going to get him? The Giants. Okay, the Giants didn't get him at the top, and neither did the Browns. Oh my God, the Giants are trading back in. Is it gonna be Shedeur Sanders? Is it gonna be Shedeur? No, it's not. Like, that was the end. Or the Rams, like, you know, any of the teams that potentially needed a quarterback. We're like, no. And yeah, you're allowed to have conversations about these players and pick them apart personally, on the field, off the field. Like, it's all fair game. That's what they sign up for. That's what the money's for. That's what brings with the popularity. Like, that's just the way it goes. It's like saying, I want to play in the NFL, but I don't want to be booed by the opposing fans. It's like, well, I don't know what to tell you, man. You make $45 million, you're going to get booed. People are going to be mean to you on social media. That's just the way this works here. Especially what drives me crazy is when there's accurate criticism that people try to pretend like it's wrong to say. And it's kind of perfect because people want to cry foul, and it's like, Cam Ward was drafted #1 overall. That nullifies your argument. Any argument that you have that you think is, you know, the truth rather than the actual reality. Cam Ward was drafted #1 overall. Caleb Williams was drafted #1 overall. Jaden Daniels #2. Michael Penix. Like, I don't know what to tell you. And people want to use like Baker Mayfield as an example. Yeah, Baker Mayfield got run out of Cleveland. He was a terrible leader. He needed to fail. He then got sent to Carolina. Got shipped out of there. Was saved by McVay because McVay was desperate for a quarterback for a minute. And then went to Tampa, and Tampa was pretty much like, yeah, we'll take you. We don't care if we lose because we want to draft a quarterback. And then he ended up playing pretty good. So let's not act like Baker Mayfield just, you know, got drafted #1 overall and everything was just great and dandy. He had problems in Cleveland. Legitimate problems. To Stefanski, who's a great offensive mind, is like, yeah, I don't want to deal with this. I mean, like, that there was the whole thing. OBJ wanted to get out of there. I mean, like, it was a disaster. Baker Mayfield calling out the training staff. Like, it took years for Baker to mature and grow into a leader, grow into a quarterback that you can be like, yeah, I'd love to have him on my team. He was not like that in the first few years. That's just a fact. That's just a fact. He'll even admit that. He's even admitted that. Essentially, like, he needed his career to go as it went. The quarterback that he is in Tampa is not the quarterback that he is in Cleveland. So, like, even using someone like a Baker Mayfield is not the argument either. So, yeah, it's a shame that all of this went down. And, you know, it's like on one side, I would say, like, you know, at this point, I kind of feel bad for Shedeur. But then I kind of remind myself, like, the guy's already made bank, #1. He's going to be drafted in the NFL. Hard to feel bad for anyone who's going to be, like, he's going to be drafted in the second round. It's like, oh, no, I feel so bad. He's a second-round draft pick, like, oh, boo-hoo, and he's going to be the quarterback in the NFL. But, like, when you see all of the other theatrics that he had ready for the draft, you're kind of just like, dude, like, come on. And that kind of shows you that I mean, honestly, that room alone shows you what was such a problem. And in order to overcome all that, you have to be amazing. If you're acting more grandiose and bigger and larger than life than Patrick Mahomes, than Jalen Hurts, than Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Stafford, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers even, all combined, bro, you better be special. You better be amazing. You better truly be larger than life on the field. And you haven't proven that. Look how Jaden Daniels has reacted. Look how Jaden Daniels got drafted. Look how Jaden Daniels handled all of this. And the guy just had the greatest rookie season of all time and led his team to an NFC championship game. Like, that's what people look for. People look for the draft. They're saying, I want to find the next Josh Allen, the next Jaden Daniels, the next Patrick Mahomes. People aren't saying, I want to find the next Baker Mayfield. They're not saying, I want to find the next Aaron Rodgers. They're looking for, like, the great leaders, the great people who have the arm, the mobility, and the humility, and the groundedness, and the leadership. Not the celebrity. That's the reality. That's why, someone like, heck, that's why someone like a Jameis Winston remained being a backup quarterback and Cam Newton didn't. Because Cam Newton was too much of a celebrity. Wanted to wear all the fancy hats and, be all this. And that's why Bill Belichick was kind of like, nah, this is too much. We just got to get rid of you and move on. But like Jameis Winston, he keeps finding himself on teams because they know he cares. They know he's passionate. And yeah, he's goofy. And we kind of talked about him in the live stream. But it was just like, people still want him. People are still pulling flyers on Russell Wilson. Like someone was kind of saying, oh, these other quarterbacks don't get a lot of chances. Russell Wilson got to the Broncos, got a haul for the Broncos, fizzled out with the Broncos, got a chance with the Pittsburgh Steelers, was even injured. They were even winning with Justin Fields, got another chance with Russell Wilson being the starter. That fizzled out. Now he's got another chance in New York. Justin Fields got a chance. That's why people love Justin Fields. A lot of people love Justin Fields. He's getting chances. He got pushed out of Chicago, got to Pittsburgh, got pushed out of Pittsburgh, went to New York, got a healthy deal in New York, relative, considering what he's put up. Like when people like you as a person and they feel that you actually really care and it matches up with your talent, you get the opportunities, you get the benefit of the doubt. You get the other opportunities. Carson Wentz struggled to stay in the league. And the only coaches that were willing to even remotely give him a chance are like the true coaches who are like, I'm a brilliant offensive mind. I'm Sean McVay. I'm Andy Reid. Like I can figure this out. I know you're talented and I need a backup. So sure, I'll take you. But like he wasn't getting a lot of these like true chances. People like you, they like you. If they don't, they don't. It sounds so dumb to say out loud, but it's the reality of like every single situation in your life. Whether it's dating, whether it's your brother, your sister, your mother, your father, your cousin, your boss, your coworker. People like to be around people that they like. People like to be around people who they think are being authentic, who are grounded, who are not over the top. And that's my Shedeur rant. I can't wait to rant more about it for first things first. So, But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Shedeur Sanders not being picked and that it adds fuel to the fire? Are you surprised Shedeur fell out of the first round? Oh my goodness. Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.